And this is how we start this Friday's conversation. I'm excited about it. Why? Growing up, we saw the likes of Tego Sisters. We saw the likes of Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Cindy Thompson, and others. When they released their songs, all we saw was it was being played on radio, it was being played on TV, or you just hear it being sung in churches. And you jump on the song and you feel the vibe, you feel the anointing, you feel the spirit. In recent times, things have changed. The era has changed. Is it to do with social media? Is it to do with everybody wants to be on top? Are they really promoting gospel? Or is inspirational music like Kewa says others are doing? The new trend of promoting gospel music has sparked a lot of conversations out there. Have you thought about the trend of dance, the trend of sing-along? Let's talk about this right here. And of course, my guests are seated. Three giants, men. I'm the only woman standing. the conversation gonna be sweet. For my far right is the man in shades. He's in a jean shirt and his name is Ashes. Man like Ashes. Hi, y'all.
Hi, darling.
How are you?
Great.
Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
How is Kwabena?
She's doing fine.
Great,
Yeah.
great. And Ashes is Kwabna's manager. And we know Kwabna has written a lot of gospel songs out there for a lot of gospel musicians.
Yeah. He managed Yasapon.
Oh, you manage Yasapon as well. Yes. So you see, he's inside the super swell. In the middle, the boxing iron in the middle. Kwame Dazi, our very host for Showbiz A to Z. Hello, Kwame.
And the man of God.
And the man of God. Which of the churches though?
Prime Church. International. Prime Church International.
Not too long ago, we heard about a table that had been constructed by some carpenters. The table is still standing strong. They still haven't added any woman yet. Probably I'll be the first woman to be added. But one of the members is here. I'm talking about the man, Ninoy. Hello, Ninoy.
Hi, Rosalie.
We go way back.
Yeah, way back.
And when I tell people you're my boss, they don't believe it.
Oh, but that was way back, right? Well, like way back.
Oh, way back. Way back about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, like
about 10 years ago.
And
yeah.
we were working together and, you know.
Gospel
so it's way
Hours
back,
scheme.
way back.
Yes,
it was a gospel hours.
Yeah. Why, you think that Ninoy will work on any other horse scheme?
Oh, I work on about a team music.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, so because, we know Ashes is managing Yalsapo, I'll ask Ashes first. What do you think about this new trend of promoting gospel music? Now, we see a lot of, especially, I'll use names, it doesn't matter. We see Emoji, we see Dinah Hamilton, we see Nasi. And these are people that, in the past, we didn't see them doing it, but now they are doing it. Everybody's jumping on the trend, or sing along, or rap to this beat, dance to this, to promote a song that is meant to be a gospel song to push the word of God. What's your take on it?
I see nothing wrong. The trade is called show business. You cannot just do the show and leave the business. I mean, say in this sub-sector is where we find it hard to get record labels. But if you go to the Western world, there are record labels that inject financial capital into your project. What do they want in return? They don't want Holy Spirit in return. They want money because they are putting their monies in you. So you being holy, and not getting them exactly what they want means they're kicking you out the next year and bringing somebody who would actually do the job. So that's the business side, which needs to be ticked. So if you see people actually going on that tangent, right, and they are doing it constructively, not foolishly,
But are some doing foolishly?
Yeah, what Brother Sami did some time back was foolish.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Which one did he do?
The one that he brought some lady to shake it. I mean, we talked about it. I don't really want
okay, that one.
to revisit that thing. That is not being, godly. If you have a way of promoting your act, churches do adverts. They do come for conventions. They put it on radio. They put it on TV. Why don't they just allow their members alone? Because their members will come any day. I mean, if they're doing their convention, they say they will come. But they need other people to also come, and feel the auditorium for them or feel the presence of God in their side. So if they market their style in that way, what stops the gospel musician from also eating.
Okay.
They also have to eat because, like I'm saying, they put money into the business. If they sit down and allow the church alone to sing it, then it becomes a hymn.
Okay. So you ought to think about the business.
Yeah, you have to think about the business. So,
but then what happened to this whole thing of let God lead? Go do the work of God and let Him lead. He'll raise people for you who will take care of you. When I had a conversation with Kofi Usupepa this morning, he actually did say that he doesn't charge. What he does is that he just goes ahead, minister. If you want to give him something, you give him something. If you don't, he believes God will give you somebody. Ninoy.
I wish I was answering this question.
You want to answer that? All right, Ash is coming before I go to Ninoy.
Yeah. So, sorry.
No, that's fine.
So, God says the hand that doesn't work should what? Not eat. So I don't know what the person you refer to.
On their hand.
I'm coming. I don't know. Yeah, but then it's a tool.
It's Kofi Usupepa who said it this morning.
I don't know what he does.
Yeah.
Probably
He
he's
thinks,
an architect.
Okay.
You know, on the side. Probably
Okay,
he's a doctor.
normal
Probably-
8 to 5.
Yeah. Probably he has something that supports him.
No, this is what he's doing full time.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, he probably might. What if he has some sister in America who's sending him some remits? And that supports him on the side.
Okay.
He doesn't need to charge. But what if I solely depend on this business to eat? Am I going to go to the carpenter to do a ladder to go to God to go and take food? Hell no. I have to eat. And my source of trade is this. God understands. Because if I don't do that, then I'm going into armed robbery. Then I'll go and rob and then come because, you understand me? So God understands that everybody has to eat. So if this is your trade and you go straight to the tangent that this is what I do for a living and how I want to eat from, I'm not going to overcharge, I'm not going to abuse it, and whatever you give me, I can survive on it. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's business.
Yeah, so I think that statement is affecting the whole gospel space, especially with how our major group, target group is the churches. So on how they honor us or give us money, that statement, whatever you give me, is affecting. Because at the end of the day, he'll go to a church, they'll give him 1,000 cedi, and he's going with like a 10-man band. Then he's the same person who says the church is not supporting my works. So that statement, I have a big issue with it. And I also have a big issue if you go extreme, like me, you're charging too much. I just want you to look at the number of people you are bringing, maybe 500 cedi per head, something, and you can give a reasonable charge. So that statement in itself, I'm not for that statement.
Okay.
It's hurt a lot of people. However, let's look at the space well. The thing is that when you even go to church, they have an administration. In the gospel space, it should be your management.
Right.
And the church, they go for evangelism. They go look for souls. They don't just wake up one day and say, okay, let's go to Okokomnemle. They have a strategy for it. Some they do online, some they hold placards, some they do, they have a strategy for it. So you need to have this strategy to make your song go out and reach a lot of people. And in return, you might win a soul. Because the same way, if you go do evangelism, you go walk, you go show the placards, you are not sure you've won souls. The same way, when you market your song, you make the song goes out to like 1 million people, you're not sure who you've won, but at least you're sure you've won a percentage.
Right.
So if you take it from that mindset and approach it in that mindset, the church, that's even saying we are charging too much and all of that. There are all the things a gospel artist is practicing, from the management to a strategy to everything. We picked it from the church, and the church pick it from the business world. You understand? So to me, I think that there's nothing wrong in making this lead and making that lead. And most importantly, we need to do it the Christ way. The trends and everything that are being used for this.
Which one is the
marketing.
Christ way?
So for instance, like Ashe said, what Brother Sammy did was so
That is
unnecessary.
not the Christ way.
So unnecessary.
Okay.
I mean, so unnecessary.
So the Christ way
there are
is-
a lot, like Nasi is doing an open verse challenge now.
Right.
Scott Evans is doing a dance challenge with his 100%. You know, I think MOG2 is doing a rap open verse challenge.
Yeah.
All of this falls into space because you want to sell what? A message.
Okay.
And you don't sell a message by going to do what Christ doesn't approve.
But you know, somebody like Nasi, his open verse challenge had people singing other, lyrics on there. It wasn't gospel.
I've not seen that.
Oh, you haven't?
And Nasi posted it.
Yes, there was somebody who even sang about fufu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were people who were
Yeah.
But let's be, I mean, secular Recently I saw a pastor we talking about it, secular and filthy, or there's a word for that one. I mean, if you're talking about fufu, Ghana national anthem, there are songs that gospel music everybody can sing.
Wait, but the question is, and Nasi posted it.
Yes, he posted it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I wanted the content of it. But if it's about fufu, if it's about rice, Nasi can post it.
No, but then that's where
it's promoting food
coming. You have to filter.
Okay, anyway, that's another discussion.
You have to filter it.
Yeah, you need to filter.
But it's a way of getting the song to reach the people out there.
I also understand that it will bruise somebody.
Yeah.
Because that is not gospel. Because if we're talking about Brother Sami, why can't we talk about
Brother
Nasi?
Sami,
maybe we have to see that.
Brother Sami shared something which was sexually provocative.
But somebody will also say fufu and God message is
fufu is
provocative.
food, you don't eat fufu.
And me, I say a verse. Waiting you could do it.
Somebody will keep verse with some
Somebody
gospel
to like
line.
Brother Sami and say, no. I mean, it's arguable.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that
Yeah.
if we have to chastise this guy because he's done something wrong, let's not spare another person when we feel like, no, this is also not gospel.
No, but if the objective is to make the song go viral,
His objective was to make his message viral.
Yeah, sure. Open verse
Oh, it's
challenge
a
is one of the
message.
message.
Yeah.
So open
Open
verse
verse
is the
challenge is the
message.
message.
there is a main song there.
What about
then
the song? See, is it that some of them actually just want to push the song, but not the
No,
message?
you see, when you look at the strategies they use on TikTok,
Yeah.
they use different strategies because of a song. When you look at Nasi's song, the message and the words, the message is what is making the song go.
Yeah.
Fire me boy, you know when you listen.
So he leaves the chorus,
So he
creates
leaves
a space for you to
creates
fill in the
because that message
people to
is
come
what
and
is
do
really
full
selling the. Oh, that's the full song. That's the full.
We'll try and get it.
Okay.
No, the person was like Fufua Midi, something.
I really want to listen to it.
We will try and get it.
Yeah,
I love it. We'll try and get it.
That's
Maybe we'll have to listen to it.
We are trying to get it. We'll try and get it.
So like I'm saying, it's the strategies. That verse, Empire Me Boy, Swaba, Swama, Akwantu Amitui, and that is what is selling the song. Seriously, that part. And people are getting emotionally attached to that part, just like YMEA, some parts of it. So because of that, the management of Nasi is saying that, okay, open verse so that you sing that part and let it relate more. So then maybe,
this is
And
my
the person is
you
saying
understand?
God has given him fufu to eat.
No, I'm not the fufu case. I'm not the fufu case. I'm not the fufu case. So
Mr. Producer, can you play this thing so we listen? I really want to listen to this.
We'll try and get it for you. We'll try and get
Your own
it
is
for you.
according to his own. His is fufu.
No, I understand.
Okay. Don't downplay.
Everybody and what
very
they want, right? But Kwame, your take on it as well.
I think it's the right thing they're doing. Gospel musicians live in a society. Even gospel itself is from secularity, if you like, because the very first time hymns came into existence, they came from Greek. How do you call it? Chants.
Yeah.
If you go check the history of even hymns, they are not Christian in origin. So everything we do as Christians are from the society.
Today you're looking like Jesus.
I'm a man of God.
Okay.
You see, the beats that you sing on, the reggae instrumentation, the high life instrumentation, all these came into being through people who are from the secular world. So whether you like it or not, there is social media, there is TikTok. For all you know, most of these apps, even the people who brought them into being, all these people are not even Christians, but you're using them anyway. So I think that once these are tools we are using to promote our music, as a musician, as a gospel artist, you need to also tap into it.
Right.
Now, I always say the gospel artists are the most confused people in the showbiz industry. Why?
Why?
Because most times they are torn between doing ministry and doing business. How to marry the two, how to make sure that you put the two together is a problem. Those doing secular music know that
business.
This is where we are. But as gospel artists, at a point in time, they think I'm doing ministry. Another time, I'm doing business. And for those who don't have good managers, it's very difficult for them to even strike the balance. Some of them are very lucky to have people like Nino who have marketing backgrounds, who come up with wild ideas.
And Ashes.
And you go to Geometric, for example, you look at all the guys around him. These are great
Nino
guys.
is part of Geometric's
I
team.
know, he's part of almost everything. And so you could see the new trend of promotion in the gospel industry. You could see these guys are very creative and they are very daring as well, because if you are not, you may be stuck in the old ways. Gone are the days when we saw, music videos by gospel artists, and always people are standing by flowers, somewhere.
We've gone past that crowd.
We're actually going to be talking about that one in particular because we've gone past it. But again, there's a new trend where gospel musicians. But I think we have this video. Let's take a look at it. The gobe. That's the gobe one.
That's the gobe one. Okay.
Lovely.
So let's take a look at the gobe one.
I see being Ghanaian. These people are just being Ghanaian.
What a government, Tabetiama. What the other body goes to say, come in here, Wabraboim, and some
in there. He has a message, so he can pass for.
He didn't just come to food.
Right.
He had a message. And he goes into what Nasi is saying. You understand me? So then there's a clear message. It's not like he's fooling.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
Yes. That's why I was asking the management filter. I'm sure this one they heard it. They saw that, okay, there's a message in there. And they can allow us, this can pass.
Okay.
This can pass as a
Right.
message.
As a message.
I haven't heard
We've not seen the
until I heard it. Until I hear it before I can. But if producer can get that one
We are
before.
still trying to get it.
But it can pass.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
We're talking. We diverted a little bit into the the whole video. It's another way of promoting their songs. In the past, yes, we used to see them wearing like 5 different outfits. Mr. Saslit and Kabasa standing by flower pot or sitting on the floor, or there'll be a tree and then they'll pip their head
Hiding
like
in the
this,
bush.
hiding in the bush, holding the leaf. Then it changed. Then we saw them in houses, in beautiful cars, and all of that. Now it is live recording. We are not seeing that again. And we are wondering why. Okay, yes, we might say that times have changed. But the live recording, is it getting the right impact? Is it sending the right message? Because TV is visuals, videos are visuals. And when we see you in car, you say, Asida, we see you changing stuff. But we see you standing at one place and you're backing vocalists and all of that. Is it finance?
Okay.
No, take you have the stats on that. So.
I think that the live recording issue, I think when you look at it, it started with some people championing it over the years. Like a decade ago, Joe, Denzel, recently Dinah, and all of that. I think they're looking at cost elements and elements of audience reaction. So let's start with cost elements. At the program you're doing, maybe the recent Joe Metto concert, maybe plus or minus, he spent, let's say, 500,000 CDs on the concert. Out of the concert, they just sit down and think, okay, so how do I make this experience get to not only the 10,000 people at Oil Dome, but just millions outside of Oil Dome? So they probably record a new song. Mix it, if there are overdubs, they do all of that, they master it and they release it so that people who were not in the auditorium can get the experience. So they look at the cost elements. Unlike after that, you're going back to the studio, trying to record it. And most of our people, they like live. So, everybody will call everybody again, the same people to go and play live. Then you go and get Skyweb for another video, 20, 30,000, So there's a cost element. And there's an audience reaction element.
Okay.
So when you see their cameras on some of the audience and their reaction, and normally when you watch some worship songs, are done and everything, and you watch some of the reactions, it makes you feel that, okay, the impact within the space at that time was very spirit-filled. So it makes you, zoom into a certain element. So these two things have, influenced and guided some of these things. However, the problem is, you see a lot of songs released from the same attire, the same kind of audience, which becomes a little boring. So it affects the other songs. So if you see, now most of them are also moving away from doing a whole album, even though some, now they do restricted audience change and all of that. But most of them are moving away from doing the whole audience album, But remember, our people don't have record labels like Ashes was saying. So if they get this experience, they get this thing, they want to capture a lot of things. Because like you see CC Bedu's video is doing, it's like a 300,000 concert. You understand? So when he gets it, he wants to capture everything to get some elements out of it. So most of the times, I think that it's changed to that level a little, but right now they are integrating both.
Okay.
So when you see Joe Metals Medano, he has a live version.
Okay.
But he had to go ahead and do a video so that, you know, that live version, he's released a lot of songs from that live version. So maybe later on in his life, he decide, okay, let me release that version. So it's cost and audience experience.
An audience. Kwame, do you like it?
I like it. Once it is a work of art put together and it has audience, I like it. There is music, there is video, and that's it. Now, just as Ni said, this is cost element. And so you need to make sure that you don't go beyond what you're spending. And our people in the gospel space are always complaining about, you know, finances. They are one of the people in this industry who are always crying that they don't have even sponsorship. It's very difficult for them. Even deals like, you know, somebody being an ambassador for a company, it's a problem. Because as a gospel artist, I'm not sure you can go sign a deal with an alcoholic beverage. You can't do that. Secular people can do almost everything.
Oh, right now, for secular, can we still do it? I think...
No, alcoholic companies.
Alcoholic is out.
No, you can't.
No,
even now, you can't do it. Previously, they were the biggest companies, you know, signing our artists. And even apart from alcohol, there are certain things that gospel artists can't do. For example, a gospel artist can't maybe go bare-chested to advertise for a brand. So many things. Secular artists can do that. And so they have limitations when it comes to that. And that is why most times they complain they don't have all that. Now, thank God, recently we've had people like Dinah Hamilton, you know, getting onto the Awake and Enterprise Insurance. So it means that in as much as they have limitations, some of them are doing so well to tap into certain places that they think they have roles to play there. And so I'm happy we are getting there. It's not as it used to be in the past, where almost every gospel artist had challenges in getting out there to get a deal. Now we have people getting sponsorship deals, ambassadorial deals, and all that. So that is one part that I want to touch on. Now let's talk about something that I think the gospel artists are doing well that I like. And that is, nowadays, you look at them, they hold their own concerts. They have, let's say, New Wine concerts. Joe Metals has his own Praise Reloaded. Dinah Hamilton has experienced something.
Dinah Hamilton.
Yes. Previously, it was most of these secular artists who were doing that. But now you could see that the gospel artists some of them are thinking business. And so, as part of marketing their songs or their brands, they realize that it goes beyond just, you know, going to a church to perform and that's all. Just have your own...
They'll tell you it's not performance, it's
ministration. It's ministration. Have your own brand, your own concept. Apart from that, your social media presence and everything. So they've become aware of the changing times, and that is what I like about them.
But you see, Kwame, it brings me back to this. And I'll ask you this question, Ashes. We have about 50% of them doing these concerts for free. They say God hasn't given them the leeway to charge. And so they are looking for sponsorship. They don't get the sponsorship. The budget is about 400,000, and yet they can't charge. The people have to come in for free.
No, but sorry, Rashes. sorry. No, but some of them who also take gate fee. A lot of them are also not breaking even.
They're not breaking. Kofi even said it this morning that...
No, the gospel people. Some of the people that
they don't
even
break
charge. Some of the, because see, the gospel production... The gospel production, you know, Ashes knows, there's a lot going on. Like all that goes into it. A full backline, frontline setup. Instrumentalists must go on rehearsal 2 weeks continuous. You know, you need to give them money. Like all of that. After that, you need to do a multi-track. The sound elements must fall in place. A secular guy can do a setup and just use a DJ and be fine. You understand? But a gospel guy, he does the stage, he has a good set design because he wants to get a video also out of it. And at the end of the day, even the production, we will not come to publicity for the set design, the elements of the people going to play and all of that is blowing your mind. So even those who are charging, a lot of them are
still not breaking it. Ashes, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that you see, with the secular, we largely rely on government. When we're talking for funding, we're looking at governments to coming to help us. And we trumpet that a lot. With the gospel administration, I think the part that falls short is the churches. You know, the churches have let them down in the sight.
God bless you.
The churches have really, because you see, somebody would want to come and do, let's say, a Genesaris church. I want to go and do. I'm not from that church,
Right.
but I just want to use that auditorium, and I have first-hand information. That's why I'm saying this. The church will literally withdraw. Their members will withdraw. It's not their program, so they don't care.
Because it's not right.
They will not support actually what the young man or the young lady is there to do. So the young lady does everything, does promotion, does publicity, everything, even to the advantage of the church, and probably goes home with nothing. You know?
And even the amount the church will charge for the space.
Some of the churches charge.
They charge, yeah.
Hey, it's not some of the every church space you use they
have
charge.
with that particular church, though. Probably you went there and said, "I want to use your
No, but
auditorium."
the point I'm trying to trumpet is, this is God's work. Okay, you want to charge for the space, fine, but be a part of it. You know, I have a first-hand experience with this. I just don't want to go into it.
Go into it.
No.
Just a little
Sometimes
bit. Maybe a little bit. A little bit. Just a little.
No,
You don't have to go into detail, but a little.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The little is what I am saying.
Okay, and what happened?
After we had done the concert, it's an RC concert with it. After we had done the concert and everything, the church
this
divided.
years ago.
Yeah, the church divided.
The church divided.
Yes, they divided and took their part, and yeah.
Was that the agreement from the
No,
onset?
from the onset, it wasn't. I didn't get that
Okay.
thing. I thought, oh, they're giving us the auditorium to come and do the administration and everything. You know,
Okay, so you didn't pay for the auditorium.
no, we didn't pay for the
So
auditorium.
the gate
And they
fee
said it was
they
free.
divided.
And after, actually,
They did some
And
dynamics.
after, no, say it.
even promises and pledges that their pastors made, none didn't come through, and they actually had a division with us. You know, and well, it's fine, it's business. We are the ones that have brought our material there. So anyhow you want it and you decide to go about it, that's fine with you. But I'm saying that if the church also decides to help our gospel musicians, right? It won't cost them anything.
Do you think the church is very judgmental on gospel musicians?
I think
Hence, it's
so.
not allowing
No,
gospel
I
musicians.
think so.
Because I have had conversations with some of them,
Yeah.
and they say when you mention a figure, the pastor will say, "No, don't mention a figure. I will honor you myself. You
God
go, they
bless
give
you.
you 1,000 Ghana cedis."
God bless you. You see, this I'll honor you yourself. It started from the daughters, the Tego, and even the Yalsapong, those times. And they were trusting the churches to give something
Of
honorable.
course.
And you know, those days, it worked in such a way that when you finish your song, either Despite or Big Ben will come and buy your cassettes. So they buy it at a very huge amount, Cibex and Co. They buy a very huge amount. So those gigs, the money you get from those gigs were not gigs, monies to, you know, do anything, but because we've gotten something heavy from the cassette or the CD. But now, the gospel artist is doing everything. Like I told you, he's doing everything from conceptualization to marketing to distribution, everything. So if you come and tell me that, if I come to you and I charge you, and you tell me that I should stop charging and you're going to give me something honorable, this is the unfortunate part. Some people feel something honorable is 2,000. Some people feel something honorable is 20,000. That is why I want gospel artists to stop saying this thing when they go for interviews. Give me anything.
But
No.
you know, some pastors will not be happy.
No, listen, but have a discussion. It's a discussion.
Right. But I've also had experience. I was telling you some time ago when I met you, I think somewhere last week.
Sunday.
And I was telling you that, you know,
An artist.
an artist mentioned an amount.
A certain amount. That's what I'm going there. I'm saying that we should have a discussion. For instance, when a pastor will not call you straight. Maybe it's his PA or the church office.
Or some of them call me straight.
Okay, that's
Yes.
fine. But most of the times it's their PA or their church office or something that calls. When they call, have a proper conversation with them. Okay, I'm bringing 10 members, 10 bandsmen. The bandsmen, they don't know free. They will pick Uber from their house to your churches as painters. Like if you do that calculation, it's okay, because of that, I'm giving every bandsman 500 cedis. They are 10. That's what 5,000. Me, myself, I'm coming. I'm coming with my car. Like if you do that calculation, it's okay, because of that, give me 10,000, give me 15,000. It's a proper breakdown you have given to all these people to understand. You understand? Because if you mention it 15,000, 20,000 at a go, you say, hey, also right. Because the unfortunate thing is that after mentioning the 15,000, 20,000, you call, they have alternatives every time. So they will call the alternatives, oh, they're for 7, bro, for 5, there you go. But however, it's killing the whole industry. Because like I'm saying, the biggest target market or the biggest people who give the gospel artists gigs is the church. It's just like, the other space, they get pubs and nightclubs to play. There's a church. So if you go to the church and they give you 2,000, they give you 1,000, then how it
And when you take the 2,000, you have to share it with everybody.
Just to share it all the 10 members. And remember, he's coming he has to market the song. He doesn't have a record label. He has to market the song.
So the church ought
he has
to
to do
better.
YouTube
They
ads
really
to promote
ought to
his
do
video.
And the church will bring a pastor. That's
And give the pastor money.
Yeah.
And give the pastor like 40,000.
Thank you.
And you, the person about to minister,
Bring in a lot of people.
bring in a lot of people. They give you 2,000.
But it's not like that in Nigeria. Truth.
What is the structure in Nigeria that we are not following?
The structure is common sense.
Just go kill me.
No, straight. The structure is just common sense. We're failing to apply, and we are too holy. And Nigerian will tell you straight. They don't care if things, Oga now, how could you do this thing? But we,
But I'll speak about the Nigerian thing.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Bassey doesn't charge.
Yeah.
But he goes on heavy.
Yes. How does he go? How
Common
does he do it?
sense.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
There
You see,
is applying common
you
sense.
see, this thing that we say that the Bassey doesn't charge, do see
Dusin
you can
doesn't
doesn't charge.
charge, yes.
You know, their money just have discussions, like the discussion about me.
Yeah.
They'll have discussions behind. You understand? So when he's coming to, maybe he's come to a certain church, you've handled him well before, you don't have that discussion with
Right.
him. But I know cases that Dusin Oyekan's manager will say, okay, I'll not charge.
I've had that
But-
conversation before. Let me tell you the experience.
No,
He
tell
said,
that.
Dusin's manager said,
I'll not charge.
I'm not charging.
But I'm bringing-
But I'm coming with
you.
5 members.
You understand?
Okay.
You will
So,
take care of
tell
our
Nice Waka
hotel.
Chobibi.
Yeah.
You will take care of our feeding.
Yeah.
It was COVID era. You take care of our COVID check
Thank
at the airport.
Uh-huh.
And also, you fly Dusin on first class.
What charge you?
When he comes to Ghana, when he's leaving,
What
we'll
charge
take
you?
honorarium. And we do not take our honorarium lightly. So do not give us anything to
Understand? We were
disrespect.
catching on.
You see where common sense has been applied.
$10,000, $15,000.
Common sense.
That's what I'm saying. So
It has been applied.
if the pastor calls you and you know you can't give this breakdown, get a manager to give the breakdown.
Yeah.
Because see, there's some big men or big pastors in Ghana, probably you can't charge. So you say, okay, I'll come. But I'm coming for a 10-member band. 5 will play, 5 will sing. When I'm coming, maybe a Kumasi, so we can't come the Sunday morning. We'll come Saturday evening, we'll come and lodge. Like, you give them Koda does that a lot, with the management does that a lot. It gives the breakdown. After that, you say, okay, so now you can think about something. My 2,000 after this breakdown. You
Is
understand?
it that most of the gospel musicians actually don't use their managers as well? They go themselves, and so they find it difficult to do this negotiation?
When I said common sense, we were laughing, but that's it. That's the common sense part. If you decide you are too wise, you become a fool. And you always be fooled. There comes a time where you need to apply common sense by acting like, let the business work. You understand me? Every principle in life that has worked had some certain measures around it. If you don't apply that force measures around you, you would always be a fool and you always be used. But at the end of the day, it is your business. And you have to handle it well. Right? We are here because at the end of the day, we are marketing something in as much as we are on TV and blah, blah, blah. Why do you think we are doing this? It's not for free. Even if you're not paying us. This is adverts that gets to somebody for them to contact us. That's why we would also waste our time and come and sit here. Yeah, so we take it serious. So whatever you do, if you think that it's just Holy Spirit that's going to feed you, God bless you, go ahead.
You waste through men.
What about those who actually have spiritual fathers? Most of them have spiritual fathers that tell them that, it's not time for you to charge yet.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Please talk about it.
Oh, they do a lot.
Spiritual father will tell you not charge.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of pastors who have told artists not to charge.
And is he paying your rent,
man. That's what I'm coming to.
your girlfriend money, is he paying everything?
You see some of these things, like Danny Neto say, there's an industry aspect to every ministry. So when I was working with him before he passed on, he said we call it ministry. He said, you focus on the industry, me, I'll focus on ministry. You understand? So if those pastors that are saying don't let him charge, then
the pastors have let us down. Let's face it. The pastors have let the gospel musicians down.
The major thing
They have let them down. They use them to glorify their occasions, and then they leave them hungry.
Hey, and you see, the most
let's face it, they have let them
the
down.
fact that I think that they've let them down is that churches can set up record labels. See what is happening in Nigeria. churches in Ghana can set up record
You
labels.
let
I'm
them
happy.
set-
I'm happy some of them have
doing
started.
now.
Now,
I'm happy some have.
Keeper's House has it.
Yes, Keeper's
And I
House,
think
ICGC has it.
Harvest Chapel.
Yeah.
But you see,
Nino,
right now, those
you are
who have the
going too
record
far.
label.
See, instrumentalists in the church are suffering. You're talking about record label.
No, the churches that have said they have started, they are starting their instrumentalism.
Yeah.
Then that's okay.
Yeah.
Because somebody goes to, I can take instrumentation full time
It's
and
true.
be in the church and I'll be fine.
It's true.
If I'm being paid well. You understand me?
Yeah.
But I have to double for my job and come and do this. The stress of closing early and coming for rehearsal, they don't take it into consideration.
Yeah, that's true.
They see your talent like because you have it, come and do it.
But you're doing it for the work
So-
of God, isn't it?
Listen,
God himself
Pastor
has
Nika
asked
Itianika.
us to work. He didn't
Pastor
say
Nika
sleep, he
Itianika.
said work. So the person is working. The fact that he's using an ability he has to also propagate what you also have, he's working and he must be taken care of. Like you said, if a pastor preaches and takes on 40,000 and 30,000, why can't somebody who is an instrumentalist or something also enjoy a little bit of that share and go home and his wife will be happy?
Yeah.
Do you think every time you go and you come and say, oh, Pastor, listen, Yamisha, your wife will be happy at you? Yamisha will say, oh, yeah.
So based on that, let me open the school. Churches must have record labels so that you cater for musicians not only outside but in the church also.
Yeah.
So that you start from the instrumentalist. Some churches don't do that, so we need to start encouraging them to do that. You see, then after doing that, you need to, because see, the only way that we can get that full blown of gospel that we had in the early 2000s, that one door time and all of that, it's when we get funds back into it, because those people, the big bands and things, were investing.
Yeah.
So till we get those funds back into it, we're going to get our individual gospel artists struggle all this while. So the churches, we are employing you that pick an artist. Let's see a church like ICGC pick an artist from nowhere, move the artist up. Then we can say, okay, now church is
We've
investing.
seen some of the artists fight to their. A typical example is Celestine Donko. At a point in time, she had a bit of issue with I think, the church ICGC or so, but she's back there again.
Oh,
You know,
she's been in ICGC for a while.
yeah, but she didn't leave. But I think there was a little bit of a brouhaha some time ago. But they sorted it. It's happened in some churches. You go to other places, and then the pastor gets angry with you because you are ministering in other churches. You don't have time for us anymore. We started with you now.
You see,
you're
this is what I see. So
our time is finished, though, but we say it's past.
this is what I say. If you didn't finance my ministry, my brain na menya my jamanam dabedu baby abedu. Me obon pa ma say go into the world and bless the world. Na church friend na say ma then the prayer you prayed for me, what was the meaning of the prayer? You understand? So it is important that the pastors understand. If you are not investing in a Joe Metal can go anywhere in the world and decide not to appear on a Sunday morning in your church. Until you decide that, okay, exhibition what the Assemblies of God, you are investing in Joe Metal. So because of that, every month you are giving you this, you are going to give you this and that. And that's when you say, when Sunday morning, bro, sorry, you're not better now. And yes, Saturday I live in, he has to go and, win souls outside.
Well, let me take a final word, Ashes.
Let's apply common sense. And it will work. Like Nino has given us the breakdown. Let's apply common sense. Let's apply business. Let's stop just looking at God. God is also looking at us to stop complaining. And how do we stop complaining? By using common sense. We will stop complaining.
Right. Kwame?
I think we should look beyond the church because, if the people in the church are perceived to be Christians, then what are you gaining if you are evangelizing through music? I think we should look at other platforms outside the church. That is why when I see Empress Gifty on Stonewall stage, I don't have any problem with her. We are too limited to our school, the church. And recently, I heard one of these gospel artists say that when they perform at secular events, they are paid lesser as compared to the secular artists. That's also one thing that, as table of men, you should look at going forward. Yeah.
Right, your final.
Thanks so much for bringing us. I pray you continuously have gospel discussions.
We will.
We'll
try and see if we can continue next week.
Yeah, when you have it, tell your pastors to watch so that they can learn more. Thank you very much for inviting
Thank you so much for being here. And my guests have been Ashes and Kwame Dadzie and Nino. Ashes, you want to say something?
There's a collaboration between secular and gospel. Yasapon, Kofi Kenata is just about to be dropped.
Oh, it's about to be dropped.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that one.
Very big song.
That's
Watch
great.
out.
We are watching out.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for watching Prime Morning this morning. Thank you for sticking with us from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. I didn't do this alone. Michael Esiedua Akumia says thank you, and my name is Roslyn Felly. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully next week we'll continue. Bye.